All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wa Akwath. All right, so getting right into it. I know the video been going around about old girl from Houston that went over there to Dubai and started shouting and got detained. And one thing we have to learn that dealing with our women, even the men, but this lesson is particularly dealing with the women, everything stems from the Bible. And this tells us who the true Israelites are, all right, because it stems from the curses. Now, when you read Deuteronomy 28 and 45, right, it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. And when you look at the condition of our people, we are a destroyed people. All right. Starting, of course, with the men. All right. Like the brother always say, you have thug culture. All right. That trap culture, that gangster culture that was installed in us when we was young. And then you have the women with the thought culture, that harlot culture, all right, that's been instilled in them, all right. Continuing on, it says, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And the laws basically was our wisdom in the sight of the nations. Now, when the other nations look at us, they look at us with shame and they look at us with disdain. All right. And it's all due to the curses because what? We didn't hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's why even in reality, which we know she probably flew off the handle, even if she didn't, those Ishmaelites over there detain her. Why? Because they know she is a so-called black woman and they're looking to lock us up anyway. So to them, she just, one of these wild hood rats running around. All right. Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder and upon thy seed forever. Right. So when you look at the condition of our men and women, and again, this lesson is going into the women. When you look at the condition of our women, it comes from right here, these curses that was put on our women. All right. That's why when you seen old girl, she was half naked. All right. She had that green hair. She probably had the false fake nails, the eyelashes, all, she was even test driving trucks, which to me, that's masculine for women to want to even be in a truck driving business. But whatever. OK, you got to make your money. It is what it is. But that's just masculine to me for a woman to want to drive a big rig, an 18-wheeler, something like that. All right. Now, when concerning our women, again, everything stems from the curses. Now, when you go jump down to verse 56, what do it say? The tender and delicate woman among you. OK, and our women is not tender and delicate. They're very, very masculine. And you can blame men all you want. But the thing about it is men is under the curses and have their flaws. But that shouldn't really dictate how you are. Now, of course, granted, you might have to go out there and work a little bit more. But that don't mean you have to have tattoos. You have to dress scantily clad. You have to act out in public, be promiscuous. All right. Nobody dictating that you should do that just because a man might have left you. All right. That don't dictate you going out here acting like a thot. All right. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. And our women have a very, very evil eye towards us. And it stems from what? Right here. And toward her son and toward her daughter. All right. And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet. And you hear about a lot of these women that beat their children, leave their children, leave them to go to the club in the car, leave them at home, beat them to death, all of that, leave them in dumpsters. All right. And toward her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straightness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Right. And this all stems from the curses. All because we didn't hearken to the word of the Lord. Okay. And this is why women hate order. All right. They hate order. And let's get the order. When you go to 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3, what do it say? Right here, you see, this is the Christian order. All right. Now, when you go jump down to verse 3, it says what? But I will have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach. All right. Referring to who? Yahweh Shah, our Lord and Savior. And the head of the woman is the man. And our women in particular, the so-called black woman, she doesn't like this order at all. She feels as if she's the head. All right. And the head of a Mashiach is the Most High. So it goes the Most High, Yahweh. It goes Yahweh Shah. And then it goes the man and then the woman. All right. And of course, under that, you have the children. So the woman don't like that order. She likes the order for it to be her over the man. All right. And it's not so. And this is why hood rat only works in America, because in America, they bred these type of women, particularly the Israelite woman from the southern kingdom, the so-called black woman. She's the one who's been this false doctrine of the serpent been really imposed on. All right. That's why she walk around. She act like she hard. She thinks she can beat a man down. Just the other day, I was looking at the guy outside of my townhome, and I don't know if he was an Uber driver or whatever. I heard a lot of blowing outside. So I looked out there. I hear some girls hollering. I'm thinking she getting into it with one of her dudes. These girls is punching this guy in the face. Two girls. They in the car. Like he's in the driver. They got the door open inside the car, punching him. Now, if he would have laid them out, he would have been wrong. You know what I'm saying? And these women, because they're females, but they're not women. A woman to me is not going to get into it with a man like that. She would have just bagged up, went around the other way, and just would avoid all of the problems. But see, our women, they're not truly women, because they love to talk about what dictates what being a man, but what dictate being a woman, they don't understand. All right. Not being combative, loud, dressing like a hoe, walking around thinking you bad. You can beat up a man, looking a man in his eye, what they call grimming. All right. No, those things make you not a woman. All right. Not wanting to be a wife, wanting to be a harlot. OK, wanting to be a so-called boss chick. Yeah, that's not a real woman. A real woman is basically silent. You know, a real woman is shamefaced. She dressed modestly. All right. She tends to her husband, to her children. She's not trying to punch men in the face. Real women really don't fight. Realistically, a tender woman, she would go to blows if she really had to, but not initiate. A lot of these women initiate the fight with a man. They'll fight a man. And it's because they're not real women. All right. And it's due to the curses. Now, when you go to because, again, they don't like the order and don't understand the order. When you go to Numbers, starting at verse 3, all right, and this was the order. This was the order. A woman was supposed to come from under the guidance of her father and, of course, her mother, but under her father, okay, and then go to her husband. She was supposed to be under the rulership of a man at all times and not be left to her own devices. When you go to verse 3, it says, if a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she had bound her soul, and he and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed it. Right, letting you know that the woman is under the possession of her father first, all right, and learn how to become a wife from her mother through explaining it, talking to her, and through actions. See, verse 6, and if she had at all an husband when she vowed, or uttered out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallow her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered out with Slakia, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect. And the Lord shall forgive her. Why is the Lord going to forgive her? Because she's under the guidance of her husband, and he disallowed that. Meaning, the Lord respects what the father of this woman say, and the husband of this woman say. See, meaning, if you are a widow, and it says, but every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. Right. So if you was a divorced woman or a widow or by yourself, but she's really supposed to be under the tutelage of her father, okay, and then her husband. Let's get that. When you go to Sirach, Ecclesiastes 25 and 25, what do it say? Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. See, these women is not supposed to be just gadding abroad. Matter of fact, when you go to wait, hold on. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, Salakia 26, a drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. Right. And that's what we see. We see these women out. They don't even got to be drunk, but they out, loose clothes, they dress like hoes, all of them mainly. And a lot of them do be drunk. All right. And what do? They don't hide their shame, man. These women is shameless. They get on these podcasts. They say anything. All right. They have multiple partners in the hundreds. All right. Verse 9, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. And what is the biggest fashion thing right now is those eyelashes. All right. Because like 10, 15 years ago, the eyelashes, women might have wore them, but it wasn't like a crazy thing. You know, the most thing was the weave and all of that. Now you have the eyelashes into play. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And the woman has been given too much liberty. This is why you see all of the decline of our women, because they're not under the tutelage, number one, of their father, and then under the tutelage of their husband. And that's going to bring me to this, because I want to show this video. Now, this is Keke Palmer, right? Now, we all then heard the madness with that. And again, it says the woman won't cover her own shame. Right. She was at that Usher concert with her ass out. All right. Here it is. You have a boyfriend and you're a new mom and you're at the Usher concert grinding on another man with your ass out. And then women came to defend her. Why is that? Because like the Lord said, the woman should be a harlot, meaning a hoe in the city. And the average so-called black woman is under that thought culture, man. All right. So this is her. Let me fast forward to what she said, because she speaks for the majority of the so-called black women. I guarantee you that. Not all. It's a remnant, but guess what? Even of the men, so is the women. The remnant is small. So let's go to about, I got to say, now listen. You see all of that? Now she a rapper. And ever since, this situation happened with her child's father, she's been more and more masculine and emboldened, because she wasn't really like this before. But see, now she's riled up. And that's because America allows it. That's why when you go to other countries, specifically these Arab countries that's in Islam, the black woman, it's not going to work, because hood rat only works in America. Again, let's rewind it and listen to what she say. All right. You see? She said, my son gave me an ass. I don't need a nigga. All she needs is a bag. And this is the thoughts of majority of so-called black women. I'm going to run it back just one more time. You see? And best believe those lyrics is geared towards him. All right. And all it's doing is riling up, the so-called black woman is riling up these women who riled her up, and they just feeding off each other energy. That's why right now, Keke Palmer, she's, more riled up than she ever been. Because, she's getting that boost of confidence from the other women. All right. And now she's going to be able to go and she's going to be able to get her bag. Now, we never know how that girl feeling inside on the low, but again, you see, she didn't come to be like, well, you know what? I love my man and I'm going to patch things up with him. She couldn't put that out there because then she would have been looked at as weak. All right. If she would have said that, like, you know what? I want to just pull out a apology to my man. I love him. You know what I'm saying? And he is the head of our household. And I could have, dressed better and not been doing what I was doing. And I'm going to patch things up with my man. That would have been the right thing to do. But in this society, the woman has been given that authority. OK, she's been given that authority and she's going to take it. All right. That's why hood rat only works in America, man. All right. But it don't work everywhere else. OK. And that's going to lead me to this, what we all seen. Oh, wait, hold on. Now you see, she was charged with screaming in public. Why is that? Because hood rat don't work over there in them Arab countries, particularly the ones that's in Islam. Majority of them is under Islam anyway, and it don't work. All right. They not caring about, the woman going on the rant and all you black chicks that go over there and go on your rants. They just going to lock y'all hood rat ass up. And we need the law over here. And you see, look at the green. All right. That's a key clue of hood ratness. All right. When you see these women with all these colors, the reds, the blues, the pinks and purple, look, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, young brothers. All right. Don't even do it. You most definitely don't get these type of women pregnant. I don't care if they got bags and degrees and no, because somewhere in there is a hood rat. Because real women don't color their hair these colors. All right, we know women might dye it a little brown, but realistically, a lot of women, real women will not go for these bright ass colors like they going to a hair show or something. No, somewhere in there, a lot of hood rat. Trust me. But that's through Overmuch liberty. See, because when it comes to a lot of these women of the other nations, they don't dye their hair. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't walk around with green hair. It's only our women that do these things because they're under the curses. And these are the signs of who the true Israelites are. All right. And look at that. See? You see what I'm saying? I'm out here in Dubai. See, that's that, that thought culture. Again, it says what? Ecclesiasticus 26 and 25, it says, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. And see, a lot of our women, they think they, is in order according to the Most High, because when you go to church, they don't set a standard, but they're really not. They're really bitches. All right, that's what a woman dog is, a bitch. So a shameless woman shall be counted as a bitch, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. And they like to think that a lot of those Muslim women over there feel oppressed, but a lot of those Muslim women, they adhere to covering up because why? They fear the Lord. Okay, they say Allah, and we know a lot of it is going off, but they respect their holy book. All right. A lot of those women don't have to be told to cover up. A lot of them adhere to it and want to do it because they say that's the word that's the word of the Lord. So when their husbands tell them certain things, even though it's been taught from a young age, they understand why their husband is telling them those things, and they're not going to get all in their feelings, unlike the American so-called black woman who hasn't been taught from a childhood up how to be a wife and a woman. Okay. She's been taught to be masculine, independent. Okay. And a thought. All right. That's what she really been taught. Okay. So when she have a man tell her don't dress a certain type of way, she's going to get in her feelings and feel like she's being oppressed. This is why Keke Palmer went on a rant, and then you had the women that backed her up. Majority of the women. All right. Because you only going to have a remnant that's going to come under the scriptures. All right. From the men and the women. It's only going to be a remnant. So the majority is going to be thoughts and gangsters or whatever, That's what's going to happen with our people, man. Okay. A woman is not allowed to raise her voice. Why? Because they're in order. All right. The woman, she learns order in these other countries. It's only in America where she doesn't learn the order. Okay. Just lock in for these ads. Yeah, reality has set in, and the reality is going to set in over here someday. All right, for a lot of you women, that the power that you thought you had, you don't have. All right, once Esau's really done with you, your power is going to be done. You're not gonna be able to walk around here with a gooseneck, half dressed, pointing your finger in a man's face and nothing gonna happen. No, y'all gonna be laid out. All right. And that's what happened over there. Guarantee you. And one thing again, I say how I know she's masculine, because she was test driving semi trucks. Only masculine women do that. Trust me. Trust me. I've seen it. All right. I've plenty of women, a real girly girl, a real feminine woman. She's not going to want to drive a damn semi truck. She's not going to want to do that. Okay. And if it's to my knowledge, even if men do it, they can be detained. But again, that those countries are under the patriarchy. They don't just let women rant and rave in a man's face, all right, like they're allowed to do here. All right, it's going to be consequences. And the woman, the American woman, particularly the so-called black woman, she don't know nothing about accountability because ever since she was raised, she was told that a man can't do anything to her. All right, so she, in the recesses of her mind, when she's in a man's face, punching him, yelling at him, cussing him out, she be like, oh, I know he ain't gonna do nothing to me because she figure he's been taught that. All right. So that's enough on that video. Now let me get this account and close out because wait, let me see something real quick. What was that? Now, one scripture I did want to get is Ecclesiasticus 26, right? It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And again, our women have been given too much liberty, all right? And that's why they abuse themselves. That's their downfall. Watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain and drink of every water near her. Right. And this is parabolic. All right. When she open her mouth like a thirsty traveler and drinking all the water, you know what that means. By every head, she will sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Right. And that's parabolic talk, meaning she's going to be sleeping with any and everybody. All right. Any and everybody, man. And that's why you noticed the reporter at the beginning, she said Dubai has been a huge tourist attraction for a lot of these Houston women. All right. Because they going over there doing all type of deeds for them Ishmaelite men to get some money. All right. And it's probably just not even Houston women. You got women from all over going over there. But I guess they just been noticing a lot of chicks from Houston been going over there. And again, it's due to the curses, man. You heard Keke Palmer said all she respect, all she need is a bag. Now, when you go to Esther, all right, because, see, this is the reason why this happened. Because, and you know what? This will put an alarm on women from now on going over there. See, they know that's why I feel like what happened to that girl, I feel like that's good because now when these little chicks go over there, they going to be more in order. They going to know like, damn, if we raise our voice up here, we can get arrested. So guess what they going to do? They going to start shedding up. They not going to be over there in a shouting match. All right. And in Esther, you have an account where this happened, where the men nip this type of shenanigans from the woman. They nip that shit in the bud. All right. Because if we had the power, which we will, to nip that shit in the bud, these women wouldn't act out the way they do, man. So when you go to Esther 1, I'm going to start at 3 because to give you a little context. In the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all the prisons. All right. And that's talking about Ahasuerus or the Xerxes. All right. At the time when he was king. All right. Of Persia and Media. All right. Now, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him. All right. So he had a feast. Now, when you jump down to verse 9, his wife, Vashti, okay. Verse 9, also Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus. All right, that's King Xerxes. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zathar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus, Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and print the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look upon. But Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. All right, so you see she got that spirit of she gonna do what she want to do. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. Okay. And the next unto him was Karshina, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marcina, and Mumakin, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which set the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law? He like, shit, what we gonna do? Because she got me tripping. She got me messed up. All right, so they like, we about to nip this in the bud, because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. And Mumakan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes. Right. So these men understood, like, if the queen can do this to him, what is our women going to do to us? All right. And right now you have the Edomite who put our woman over us. All right. And because the woman, she really just think that she just rose to power on her own. No, this was a power play from Esau Edom. Other than that, the woman really thinks she just really, the so-called black woman thinks she just, was doing it big on her own. No, you have been used as a power play against the so-called black man. All right. But also to all the princes. So they like, she ain't did just wrong to you. She did wrong to everybody, because when our women hear about it, what you think they gonna do? And to all the people that are in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women. Right. See? And that's why you have all these women thinking that they're bosses, all these women into thought culture, all these women thinking they could just rule over their men, because it started from the top, basically the acts of entertainment. The women, in the acts of entertainment, they are the most powerful women in black culture, so-called black culture. All right. So the rappers, the actors, once they said, I'm a boss chick, it just trickled down. Once once women was able to divorce men, take half their stuff, be promiscuous, all right, move according to how they want, it just spread like a wildfire. All right. And Esau Edom, he knew that. All right. So it said, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husband in their eyes. See, when it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Right. So the other women to do the same thing, and even worse. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of this deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. Right. Too much contempt and wrath, man. I want to do something. I want to look up the word contempt. Oh, it ain't giving me nothing. Let me see the root word. The root word is bazah. Bazah. To despise. See? Regard with contempt. To be despised. To be vile. Worthless. See? And that's how a lot of our women look at us. But it's due to what? The curses. What was that? Deuteronomy 28 and 56. All right. This is how our women view us. They despise us, man. They view us as vile, worthless. Okay. So continuing on. Verse 19, it says, if it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before the king, before King Ahasuerus. Right. Cancel her. She's done. That's step one. Get rid of her. All right. That was step one. And what do it say? All right. It's other scriptures, but I'm going to get this one. Ecclesiastes 25:25, it says, give the woman no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to get abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Right. And this is something to men. All right. Because, really the woman don't have the power to divorce her husband. But in this society, in this kingdom, in this queendom, she's been given that power. That's why majority of divorce women initiate them. And it's due to what? Men so-called cheating, because in this queendom, Esau Edom has told men that they can't take other wives. Okay, even if other women agree to it, it still would be illegal. Ain't that crazy? Even if two women was like, no, it's all good, that man still would be doing something illegal. All right, even if he can afford it, take care of them and everything, it's illegal. So that lets you know. But again, it says if she don't go your way, give her a divorce, cut her off, let her go. All right. So continuing on, it says, verse 19, all right, let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes that it be not altered. All right. That Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. So cut her off. Hey, don't even worry about it. You a king. We're going to find you somebody that's better than she. We're going to get somebody younger, look better. All right. More in order. Verse 20, and when the king's decree which he shall make shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor both to great and small. Right. So when they see this play, these women, they're going to hop in order. They're going to know, like, okay, oh, girl, she said she wasn't coming. She got cut off and her estate got took. All right. So hey, we better be on point. All right. Verse 21, and the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan, for he sent letters unto all the king's provinces, and to every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. Right. So the king said every man should bear rule. Unlike Esau Edom, he's an unfit ruler. All right. He give woman the right to bear rule. All right. Man got a tiptoe in his own house. Everything like that. No. Ahasuerus said every man should bear rule in his own house. And what did that do? That brought order to the house. Because when you let the woman take over the household, it's going to be disorder. All right. That's been proven. That's damn near fact. All right. That's just not my opinion. That's damn near a fact. OK, because the woman has had her chance to rule over the household. And that's where you get a lot of these niggas in this thug culture that's been a lot of them. If you go to a prison, or if you ask them who raised them, they going to say they mama. All right. They going to say they mama. And that's why they disorderly, because they mama raised them. All right. When a father's in the household, a father in his right mind in the household is going to automatically establish order and discipline in the household, man. I have seen it. I have witnessed it on both sides of the fence. All right. So, yeah, that's just pretty much the point, man. I love this account right here in Esther chapter 1. Again, everything is due to the curses with our women and with our men. But this was particularly going out to the women. So Lord willing, this was edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.